My name's Emily. I work at IDX Broker. I really appreciate y'all for joining me today. I've worked in the sales department now for a little over a year, but I've been with IDX for over 2, which is pretty cool. Today we're going to talk about the tools to manage your office and all the IDX Broker multi-user features we have here. Let's get started. So first off, most of you probably know that IDX Broker has a light and platinum solution now. We used to have an original platform, which we're phasing out and no longer creating new accounts on. So now we focus on light and platinum, but we have the breakdown of office tiers. So we start off with single user, light and platinum accounts. Obviously that's for one agent. We'll add one agent ID to those. Team accounts is for 2 agents or 2 brokers. A duo of 2 agent IDs will be added. And then we break it into office plans from there. The first office tier is 3 to 10 agents. The next one would be 11 to 50. If that's your range, that's what you'd sign up for. And so on. We can go as high as you need. Just let us know and we'll give you specific pricing if you call in and speak to the sales team. And, if you're, just 51, unfortunately, you will have to sign up for the 51 agent account. That's just how it works. But you have plenty of room to grow and you can upgrade and downgrade your accounts at any time. Again, I said we could all follow along. So log into the demo account if you go to idxbroker.com. In the top right-hand corner of the screen, you'll see the login button. The password is going to be IDX demo along with the username. All lowercase, all one word, IDX demo. And feel free to ask questions. There's a box. Antonio's here to help me. And we'll be answering questions throughout the webinar. If I have time to speak on them, I will. And afterwards, I'll be following up. And of course, this will also be recorded and added to our YouTube channel. You can always search IDX Broker on YouTube and find our channel there. And let's get started. So probably where you'd start if you had an office plan with IDX Broker is by adding the featured agent and office IDs. So at IDX Broker, we call featured properties. Those are the listings that belong to you as an agent that you listed directly to the MLS. So they're associated to your agent ID. So that's just a keyword that I'll probably be referencing a lot. Within the dashboard, if you're logged in, the top navigation bar is where the main points will be. That's where you're going to click preferences. The sub-navigation is where you'll find featured IDs if you want to follow along. I try to, screenshot most of the images within the dashboard within this presentation, so it'll help to follow along. Anyways, office, if you search by office ID, this is probably the best tool if you're adding agents within an office account because you can pull it up all by your agents and select as many agents as you need depending on the level of your account. So if your total amount of agents on your office ID is more than the available spots on your IDX account, then the control panel will ask you to upgrade or it will just pick the first by alphabetical name, first name. Yep. Another thing I wanted to touch on is lately we've been getting a lot of questions about MLS approvals for having multiple offices that need MLS approval. Sorry. Each MLS or MLS office ID will require an MLS approval, but we're lucky enough to be able to activate multi-user accounts that have one office ID but multiple agent IDs. Those won't require each individual MLS approval. So like I mentioned there, multiple office IDs will require multiple MLS approvals, but just agent IDs added to the account, as long as we have one approval from the MLS, usually we're good to go. There also is a little caveat. Some MLSs don't offer us agent IDs. There's the Toronto Real Estate Board that doesn't, so they don't give us that information. So unfortunately, there's no way to add or know which listings belong to the agents, really. There's only a few that have that restriction, so if you have any questions, just give us a call. To add agents to your account, there are some platinum only features that come up on this portion. This is basically where you're going to create a username and password for the agents under your admin. To import agents is going to be platinum only, which makes things just a little quicker and faster. To the left-hand side, you'll see a list of information that you'd end up adding about your agents. And these are all the topics that I'll be going through. So this is kind of a good intro to what I'll be speaking on. You can manually add them if you're on light, all the things to the left. But if you're importing agents, you'll see the first import agent screenshot I took here. This will automatically display all the agents that are available under your Office ID. You can check the names that you want to import. And if you wanted to include inactive agents for whatever reason, you can do that too. Once you've selected these agents, they'll appear on your Manage Agents table. And then you can start adding bio information, add their photos, their MLS IDs, and so on. We also let you know how many roster slots are available. So if you have some remaining empty agent spots on your Office account, we'll definitely let you know so you can keep tab and take advantage of that. Managing agents, again, in the main navigation bar, I'm going to be spending a lot of time under the User section, and by clicking Agents and Manage on the dropdown, this is where we're going to spend a lot of time managing an office. This is where you'll see a whole list of all your agents and their basic information at a glance. You can sort this information. You can search for a particular agent on this page or delete any agents that you need. And then there's some icons to the far right of your Manage Agent page. And I've taken a small screenshot in the bottom left corner. The power icon is if you wanted to log in as an agent. So the main admin on the IDX broker account, the person that signed up and usually is paying for the account, it's all case by case, but usually they'll want to log in as the agent and maybe do any work for them, edit any information, or just see how that agent is moving along. With the power icon, you can log in as the agent and see what they see. With the edit icon, it's a little pencil. This is changing information. You could probably assume what that means, adding photos, and so on. The bio icon is the page. That is the edit the agent's bio page information. So you can do that for them, and they'll also be able to do that themselves if you give them permission, which we'll go over all the permissions you can set soon. The contact icon is the little envelope, and that's obviously emailing the agent their login information for the agent level control panel on the IDX account. So if they ever lose that or if they need it first time, click that envelope. So agent permissions, again under users and agent settings, you'll be able to set the permissions the agents under your admin IDX account will be able to do. So they're listed, you'll see these menus show up. You can check mark the ones that you want to apply per agent, or there's also global settings. So you can just set this once and it will apply to all your agents if you wanted. You'll have the option just to go down the list here. Manage your own email update subscribers. So this is where you can choose to allow an agent to view and edit any leads assigned to them. Probably a big one, but totally up to you if you want them to have that information. Modify your own username and password. This means you're going to let the agent update their username and password, even though you'll still be able to log in as that agent. Modify own bio page information. So if you allow the agents to have a bio page, they'll be able to update their photos, contact information, and their MLS ID that will then display on their personal bio page. They can modify their own listings. This is probably, up there on the permissions list. Probably it's a lot of freedom you're giving your agents, so it's up to you how you want to manage that. They'll be able to view and edit their own active listings and even inactive listings under their agent ID. And they'll also be able to create supplemental listings. Creating supplemental listings is totally separate from the MLS. So this is if you wanted to create your own listing with your own information manually that will not go to the MLS and be separate on your IDX account for you to display on your site. To reassign leads is another permission you can allow. That's if the agent, given the option to pass it on to another agent in the office, if maybe they don't want to work in a certain town, or they were assigned a price range they're not comfortable with, for whatever reason, if you want to let them to reassign to another agent on the account, you can allow that or not allow it. If you wanted to show an agent in a featured agent widget that's on your site, maybe you've created one, maybe you haven't. If you want that agent to display in the rotation, you should click that box. Display on an assigned agent menu. This will allow the agent to appear on a lead contact page. So a lot of times contact pages will have a drop-down menu where the new lead can choose an agent. If you want the agent to display on that list, you'll want to click that box. And last, delete assigned leads. If this isn't selected, then the agent will have the option to delete leads instead of unassigning them and allowing you to reroute them. So I always kind of find that important to set those permissions correctly, because you don't want to lose any leads that an agent under you may have accidentally deleted. Moving on, adding featured listings to your bio page. This is another key feature to do probably first within getting ready on your IDX office account. This is again under the users, managing your agent, under the MLS info. After you've set up their featured IDs like we went over, you'll want to add each of the agent's MLS IDs so we recognize their featured listings on the bio pages. So you'll have a drop-down menu where you can select the correct agent ID. It's an easy drop-down menu where you can pick them, or you can manually type in their name to find that agent. And basically, this is just making sure that we have the correct active listings from the MLS on their bio pages. And this now is going to be the agent level dashboard. This is what your agents would see when they log in. It's very similar to what you would see as the main admin on an office account. It's just a little bit more limited and the colors are green. So again, if you've made more permission or limited the permissions of your agents, not all of these options you see on the screenshots here are going to display. But if all of the permissions are allowed, this is what's going to show up for your agent level dashboard. So we call it the secondary user level or the agent level login. And this is the restricted access area that you've given your agents. They'll be able to edit their bio like we went over. So that's like changing their basic information, photos, and the subheader, which we'll go over too. You can, or your agents can, review the message center, and this is where they'll find all the correspondences that have gone back and forth between leads and so on. They'll be able to edit their listings here, the sold, pending, active, or supplemental, and maintain their lead information. So view history of their leads, add saved properties or saved searches for their leads to use if they wanted. And if this is also the spot where each lead may, or each agent may syndicate their lead information to a CRM if they wanted to, and if you permitted them. So just give you an idea of what your agents would see. They get their own username and password just like you do, but a limited area to work. And the agent subheader. So under edit subheader, you'll see the agent header ID tag for each agent. On the screenshot to the right, it is the red spot, the red code there. This subheader will display on the top of an IDX page URL that has been appended with the agent tag. So to send, it's important to send visitors to an IDX page with a specific agent ID appended. You want to have the agent add the blue code that I've listed right here, the question mark agent header ID equals the IDX agent ID. This will be unique for each agent, and they'll get that within their IDX account. And they'll add that to the end of the URL of an IDX page. So I provide an example below. Greater property for sale.home is the subdomain. IDX brokers the main domain. .com / IDX, say it's a search page for homes. They plopped in the agent code at the end there. And this editor box is something that will appear so you can adjust the content that's in a subheader. What you see is what you get is that little button in the bottom. And of course, this stuff can be discussed with our technical support team if you have more questions. And this is a bit more, so you can tag a page again with an agent code. For office and team accounts, tagging an IDX link for a page with an agent code can do the following 2 important notes, which is really any lead that registered on this tag page will be assigned to the agent ID provided in the tag. Also, any subsequent IDX page that follows will display the agent's custom subheader if provided, if they've created that custom subheader. So we want the leads going to the correct agent is really what this is saying. And any pages that follow that leads on will match the, branded agent-specific subheader that they created. So we allow agents, if you want your agents to create a custom subheader, you can co-brand your office website with each of your agents. Agents may append those pages with their agent code so that the leads are directed to the correct agent. When a lead visits one of those tagged pages, the agent's bio subheader will appear at the top of every next page. So most importantly, new leads will automatically be assigned to the correct agent. By taking advantage of this feature, your agents will be able to capture leads from common sources like an email communication, social networks like Twitter and Facebook, and blog posts. So it's pretty important. I think this could help drive a lot of business for office accounts. And it's a little tool hidden within a lot of office accounts that I don't see being utilized all the time, which should be. Roster pages next. So within users, instead of clicking on agents this time, we'll tab over to rosters. A platinum only feature is another thing that comes up here. To order the roster pages in a custom way or in an alphabetical way, you will want platinum. A lot of times clients want the broker or the CEO of the company to appear at the top of those pages. If you don't really mind, then light will be a good fit in this case because it will just randomly show the agents that have been added to the IDX account in a random order. And when the page reloads, it'll be a different order. But yeah, this is where you'll kind of manage the basic layout of those pages. Straightforward. There are some more detailed settings for agent roster pages. This is actually under the Manage Agent page. So instead of clicking on rosters like we just did, this is within the Manage Agent tab. And it is available with light and platinum. So you can allow on the roster page for all links, they can redirect to the personal website immediately. So when someone clicks on that agent, it will take them to their own personal real estate site. Or you can enable the visitor to click on the bio page, see the active listings for the agent and the bio page with whatever subheader has been added. And then they have the option to go click and visit that agent's personal website. So you can either redirect or enable a clickable link. And again, this is where you're going to choose to display if the agent is on the roster page or not. So you can remove them if you need. And if you're not in love with how the direct link of a text bio page looks, you can update that with the display text for link box. And a few more settings that you'll have control over as an admin on an IDX Office account are property updates for your agents. So each agent will have their own user account. They can customize how the property emails updates are sent to their agents or their leads. These changes will look different than the default email updates that are sent from IDX Broker. You'll also have the option to be carbon copied. So both you and the agent will be included on the email updates, every single one that goes out, or you can request a daily summary of those email updates. Languages is another thing you can control and add. Adding which languages your agents speak is a huge selling point in certain areas, but this will display on bio pages for the correct agent, and a lot of times on lead capture forms if you choose to add that. So if you have a new lead signing up, they may need to select which language they prefer, and that could be an option here. CRM integrations with IDX Broker Office accounts, you also can syndicate lead information for one or all of your agents to some CRMs. If you have any questions on which CRMs IDX Broker can work with, just give us a call. We've got a handful and a syndication integration list that we're trying to add to as well, so we're happy to have that conversation. But yeah, basically the IDX Broker account holder or their agents can set up the CRM integration, but it does end up, the last step to integrate with the CRM is going to be on the CRM account. So just keep that in mind. You will need access to both sides there. Lead routing. This is going to be under the Leads tab now in the main navigation under Contact Routing in the sub-navigation. Some of this stuff does get confusing when it comes to lead routing because there's so many different ways to route your leads. So just let us know if you have questions, and we're happy to help with specifics. But basically, lead routing, you'll have the round robin option, which is straightforward. The next available agent will get the next lead. Or you can organize it by core fields. Core fields will be things like city, zip codes, information about the actual area you're in, low or high price range, square footage or acreage. Those are core fields. Or you can add both round robin and core fields as a lead routing option. So it has a combo of both. There's a few more details that you can add for lead routing settings, like the trigger next agent on a load or on a submit. So if you have round robin set up and say the on load trigger agent set up as well, that means when a lead loads the lead capture form but may or may not fill it out, if that's selected, then no matter what, the next time a lead capture form loads for a different lead, it's going to go to the next agent. So on submit, that means if the lead actually filled out the paperwork is when it would transition to the next lead or next agent. Hopefully that makes sense. There's a lot of words there. But let me know if it doesn't. You can also manually and default the routing of leads to just go straight to the primary IDX contact. So you really have your hands on everything and can customize and specifically, set the leads where they should go if you wanted. So along with lead routing, there's also lead assignment priority. This is where it gets a little confusing as well. So I'll just read through these. Understand that there's a lot of ways to customize lead routing and how it's going to end up working on your site. So if you have specific questions, again, give support a call. First priority would be the system assigned leads. So once a lead has been assigned to an agent, that lead will stay with the agent until changed somewhere within the control panel. No other level, including agent cookies, will override this. So that's kind of the main deal. If it's set to you, it will stay with you. Agent bio cookies, next priority. A cookie is set if a lead visits your IDX page with an agent internal ID appended to it. So this is kind of like what we were talking about earlier. So if you have your agent code added to the end of a URL string, that's going to give you the priority with this lead. So this is useful when an agent is referring visitors to search on their company's IDX site from a personal site or through an email. So that agent or that lead came from a different site but ended up on that company IDX site. So it should probably stay with that correct agent. again, this is something that's case by case. Listing owner would probably be the next priority. If a new lead has not been assigned an agent or is coming through an agent bio page, then the next priority is by listing ID. If a lead contacts you about a specific listing and that listing is owned by you as an agent on your agent ID, then that lead will be assigned to you. Contact routing would be next. So if none of the things above are fitting to you, fit your priority or how your lead routing is structured, then leads will be sent out per routing options in the lead management section on your control panel. So it'll fit the global preference that you set there. And lastly, the account email. If none of the things above applied, the main person, the main email on the IDX account will be notified when there's a new lead. So keep things simple with that one. Next, we'll review the widgets. So I do list all of the widgets IDX Broker offers. These all can be customized and created to function the way you need, depending on the MLS data that we are provided. But there are some main ones that are going to help an office thrive. And that's going to be the featured agent or the featured properties widget first. I have them highlighted in blue on the left. The featured properties are any active listing associated with an agent ID or office ID. When you're building these widgets, you first select which type, whether it's a slideshow or showcase, anything like that. First, you pick which widget you want to create, and then you're given the options of how it will be organized and what type of data will display. So the second option, which I have in a box here, number 2, agents whose properties are featured, you can choose which agents' listings are going to be within that widget. The featured properties, obviously it's going to be listings. If it's a featured agent widget, then it's going to be the agent's pictures and their information sliding through. Basically that. And you have other options to display supplemental listings, a combo of both featured and supplemental, sold pending, a custom search or custom list for like specific cities, the polygon search where you draw on a map. So there's several ways to build widgets, but the ones that pertain to an office, we do give you options to specify which agents or which listings will display there. And again, a featured agent widget is basically allowing a photo of your selected agents to display on a homepage, sidebar, or any web page really, and it will display the basic information of those agents for the lead to click on and then arrive at their bio page or eventually end up on their personal website, depending on how you've set it up. And I'll show some examples in a minute. Upgrade Center, we do allow our clients to upgrade anytime they need. So maybe if you started off as a single user IDX account, at any time within the dashboard under Upgrade Center, Accounts, then Upgrade Center, you can add more users to your account. It'll automatically prorate your billing, so it's, the increase or decrease even if you wanted to downgrade will apply. And you just agree to our terms and conditions again and click submit and you're done. And you can also do this with Light and Platinum. Keep in mind, so if you start on Light and need to upgrade to Platinum or vice versa, there's within the Upgrade Center you can do that too. So we'll get to some examples now so you can see this applied. Here's a current client of IDX Broker, creechandcree.com. /IDX/roster. This is one of our roster pages that they help customize and built for their page. I did notice that this client upgraded their account to Platinum somewhat recently, and it did allow them to add John Creech, the agent and owner, to the top. So that was something that was important to them. He wanted his photo to be at the top of the roster page, so they upgraded to Platinum for this. If you click on each of those pages, or each of those photos of the agents, you will get their agent bio page. So to the right is John's bio page here. He's using the mobile first template. it displays his listings below. This is just a screenshot, otherwise I would scroll down and show you. He added his information and contact information as well. This is what the URL thread for his agent bio page looks like. So it has his agent code that we provide and his information that he organized. If you wanted to see what a featured listing page looks like, I would go to creechandcree.com/IDX and /featured. It's a page of all their properties that are within their office IDs on the account, but it's also very similar to the showcase widget, which I've included on this page. So it showcases their featured properties. If you click on each of those photos or prices, it will then open a details page of each. And the showcase widget, along with like the carousel widget, all of those things could end up being featured property tools as well, if you specify it that way. And a few more examples. This is bornforrealestate.com. She's created this is technically a sidebar, but to see what it looks like on a mobile device, we stack our mobile responsive pages so that the widgets just, instead of overlapping or making you scroll way to the left or right, they'll stack upon each other. So this is kind of an idea of what that looks like. They have a featured slideshow widget. It's at the bottom there with the house icon, and it will just, every few seconds switch to new property with new details that pop up in that black area. And the reason I say sidebar is just because I literally took it from her sidebar and copied and pasted into this image, but a mobile responsive site, would look very similar. The featured communities, this is kind of a nice way that they created this. It's basically just saved links per community. So they linked the Spring Hill community, Thomas Station, each one of those in each image, and just stuck it on their sidebar for people to check out those communities. That's about it for today. I hope you guys took something from this and were able to follow along. If you have any questions, though, I'm more than happy to help. You can email me at info@idxbroker.com and maybe check out any new feature or future webinars on our site. There's always a link at the bottom of our pages on our site, but it's just /IDX_webinar. And follow us on any social media if you'd like, and we'll keep in touch. But I really appreciate you all joining me today, and I hope you have a good day. Thanks.